Hi, I'm Tim and thanks for watching this video. In this video we're going to be taking a look, unboxing and going through the specs for this, which is the Reolink Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi security camera. Not only does it have security camera, but it also has powerful floodlights attached to it. So let's get to it and take a look inside the box. So here we are with the Reolink Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi. So this is everything you get in the box here. So you get the comprehensive user manual there, where you can view the text and images, which shows you how to install and set up the Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi from Reolink. You also get the UK PSTI Statement of Compliance. That's if you're in the UK, of course. You get the usual warm tips leaflet there, the protected by Reolink surveillance stickers, and also a booklet advertising various other Reolink products. So firstly, you get a USB A to C cable. Now what this is used for is initially adopting and setting up the camera here. So once you've adopted it, added it to your Wi-Fi network, you then proceed to install the camera. You also get a spanner here, which is made of plastic. I think it's probably ABS plastic, and that is used to tighten up the nut on the camera, which I'll show you in a moment. You also get a bracket which you can use to mount it. So there's two mounting options. So this is the first mounting option, which you use in conjunction with the camera, of course. You also get packet of screws, rubber grommets, which go over the screw holes to protect them from water ingress, and you also get the cable connectors there, where you use to join the cables from the camera to the mains power. So onto the camera itself, as you'll see here, this is the back where you used to mount it. Now this removes, so that is one mounting option. So you use this bracket to mount it, for example, to a wall. If you're just fixing it to a wall, then you would fix this bracket to the wall, measure it using the built-in spirit level, and then once you've mounted the bracket, you can then proceed to mount the camera itself, which, as you can see, slots with the rubber seal ring, which goes to the back of the wall, and then the camera would be fixed into the bracket, and then the bracket fixed flush to a wall like so. So let's just take that out and put it to one side for a moment. Now inside you get three cables. One is live, one is neutral, and the third one is earth. Now this is mains powered, so you will need to connect it to mains. Now it works on either 100 or 240 volts, so between 100 and 240 volts AC, and it will work at both 50 and 60 Hertz. Now for the other mounting option, as I mentioned with the bracket, what you can actually do is, if you've already got a junction box, for example one of the circular junction boxes what you use with cable trunking, then if you've got one of those, you can use this mounting bracket with that junction box, and then that fixes to the junction box, and then this goes over the junction box. So the junction box sits sort of inside, partly inside, using this bracket. So that's what that bracket is for. Now onto the camera itself. It has, so if we tilt this, so you can actually angle the camera, as you can see now I'm doing, and it has a ball joint there, and then to tighten up the ball joint you use this spanner which I've just mentioned. It goes over there, and then once you've positioned it and lined it up properly, you then tighten it up using the spanner. Now it's a dual lens camera. Now this camera connects to your network over Wi-Fi. Now it does support Wi-Fi 2.4, 5G and also 6G. Now it's dual lens, so it has 180 degree horizontal vision as well as diagonally, or vertically rather, it's 59 degrees field of view. So 180 by 59 degrees for the viewing angle of the camera. Now it does have built-in night vision, so infrared night vision, as well as full colour, which you can have at night using the built-in floodlights. Now there's two floodlights, as you'll see here. Now these also angle, so they turn, rotate, up and down, so you can angle these as you wish to light up the certain areas that you want illuminating. Now these floodlights are rated at 3000 lumens, and that's 19 watts. These are LED floodlights, so they're low power requirements. So if you've got, for example, one of those halogen floodlights at the moment which uses a lot of power, you might want to consider switching and getting one of these, so you've got both floodlights and security cameras all built in one device. So you could replace your security camera and your original floodlights with one of these. The colour temperature for these floodlights is between 3000 and 6000 K. So you can, for example, have them set to warm white, cool white, or natural daylight. Now there is also a QR code and label on the bottom of the camera itself here, and also on the bottom there is a recessed panel, as you'll see here, and in the recessed panel is the slot for the micro SD card. Now it will take up to 512 gigabytes of micro SD card storage, so everything gets recorded to the micro SD card, and then you can retrieve and view that over Wi-Fi using the Reolink app for Windows, Android and also iOS devices. Now also in the cover is a recessed reset button in there, and also the USB-C slot where you use to connect the cable here to initially adopt the camera into your network. Now I can see that this device is very well built, quite a bit of weight to it, so it is quite a heavy device, but it's very well constructed, and it also, with the weatherproofing, it is IP66 weatherproofing rated. Now, as well as mounting it on, for example, a wall, so vertically like so, you could actually mount it under the eaves so that it's fixed under the eaves like so, and then you can angle the cameras, so the camera lens will actually rotate the opposite way, as you'll see, and then you could just angle the floodlights however you want. Now it's really well designed, useful addition or replacement to any existing cameras or floodlights you already have. Now onto the other specs for this. With it being local storage in the slot here, there's no monthly fees, so you don't pay any storage fees at all. Once you just purchase it outright, you just own it, there's no ongoing fees at all. Now you can actually access these cameras remotely as well, and that's free to do. For the infrared night vision, it's up to 30 meters, which equates to 100 feet. Inside there's 9 LEDs in the actual camera lens itself, and that has auto switching with an IR cut filter. It also supports and has built-in smart person, vehicle, animal detection for the camera lenses. So it will pick up and detect people, animals and also vehicles. It also has, with this, there's a speaker underneath. So there is a loudspeaker and microphone there. So it does have two-way audio with it as well. For the frame rate for these camera lens, it goes up to 20 frames per second, and the code rate, so the bit rate for that, is up to 8192 kilobits per second for the streaming of the video and audio. Now, as I've said, it does require AC power, so once you've installed it, you connect it to AC power, so make sure that you contact a qualified electrician before installing this, should you need to do so in your local area, as obviously there's different rules for different countries and areas where you're allowed to install these by yourself or sometimes you need a qualified electrician. So I'd recommend consulting a qualified electrician before you connect this to the mains. So it requires mains power for the floodlights and for powering the camera. But as I've said, the camera connects to your network over Wi-Fi. So there's no wired connection required to connect it to your network. It is Wi-Fi as well as AC mains powered. Now these are priced at about £150 here in the UK, but for what you're getting for your money with the floodlights and the dual lens camera, I think you're getting quite a good deal there. Now, just as a disclaimer, Reolink did send this to me free of charge. However, they have not seen or told me what to say in this videos. All views and opinions are of my own. Now, I will put links to this product in the video description, so you can go and click on the links and check them out and view the pricing for your different regions there. Now, some of the links I do earn a bit of commission, but it will not change the price that you pay for any of these Reolink cameras. So any Reolink camera, it does not change the price that you pay. So that will do it for this video, and in a future video I'll be installing this, so keep a lookout for that video in the future where you'll see me installing this camera outside to protect my back garden. So thanks for watching this video, take care, and I'll be back again soon with more videos. Bye for now.